Chapter 3800. Wang Xian sped towards the passage between the Nine Origins universe and the starry sky cosmos. With the help of the Tai Chi Dragon Plate, their speed was terrifying. At the same time, the experts of the 12 pinnacle races in the Nine Origins universe, as well as the 6th and 7th order sovereigns in the starry sky cosmos, were all rushing over. The appearance of a new universe was a very important matter, especially when they were in conflict with the celestial nation. In fact, the appearance of a new universe in the starry sky cosmos would definitely lead to conflict and even war. Everyone wanted to seize more resources, and even kill each other to steal their resources. This was the rule between universes. Competition. Killing. A year later, Wang Xian was getting closer to the passage. He lowered his flying speed and kept the 5 elements grindstone and Tai Chi Dragon Plate. This was his trump card at the moment, and it was also his greatest trump card. After the Tai Chi Dragon Plate and 5 elements grindstone were upgraded, Wang Xian could even fight against Xiaolon and Little Otaku with these 2 trump cards. Unless it was absolutely necessary, he would not expose himself. After keeping the 5 elements grindstone and Tai Chi Dragon Plate, Wang Xian continued flying forward. The huge world passage gradually appeared. There were still some experts flying over from the surrounding areas. The experts from the various pinnacle races sensed Wang Xian's presence. Their eyes flickered as they looked over in awe. Wang Xian's current strength was clear to all the experts from the various races. He could kill a 7th order sovereigns in an instant. Among the 7th order sovereigns, he was invincible. Even with powerful treasures, he could not kill the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace, because his speed was too fast and terrifying. Wang Xian came to the world passage. This was the first time he flew out from it. In the past, because of the Phoenix race and Angel race, Wang Xian had always asked Enlai to transport him. This was the first time he flew over openly. Dragon King over here. When Wang Xian flew out, a noble elf from the elf clan waved at him with a smile on his face. Wang Xian looked at the big elf and felt the terrifying aura from her. He smiled. "Hello, Fairy Queen." Wang Xian greeted her respectfully as he flew over. He would never forget the kindness of the elves. "I sensed you the last time you came to the city. I haven't seen you for a while and you've grown so much. I'm afraid it won't be long before you're on par with me," the elf queen said to Wang Xian with a smile. It was obvious that they were treating him as an expert of the same level. The elf queen wasn't doing this on purpose to gain Wang Xian's favor. Instead, the elf queen was certain that the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace could make it this far. After all, the last time Wang Xian entered the fairy tribe, he only possessed the strength of a venerable. It had only been slightly more than 1,000,000 years, and he had already reached such a level, forcing the angel race and the phoenix race to lower their heads. In the future, it was 100% certain that he would be able to step into the sovereign realm. Moreover, the Dragon King had reached the peak of the sovereign realm. The elf queen was certain that she was no match for him. This was because she knew how many attributes Wang Xian possessed. When he reached the peak of the sovereign realm, he would probably be invincible under the heaven origin realm. "Elf Queen, you flatter me. I'm afraid I still have a long way to go before I can reach your level." Wang Xian shook his head politely. "Hee, that might not be the case." The elf queen chuckled. "Dragon King." Beside him, the rest of the great elves also smiled at Wang Xian and greeted him. Wang Xian nodded his head and exchanged a few words with them. "Dragon King." Wang Xian. Not long after, Wang Xian heard a voice. He looked over and revealed a faint smile. 3 figures were flying over. The leader was Ling Honggu, who was dressed in red. Beside him were his grandfather, the Black Vulture King, and another sovereign realm expert from the Skeleton Clan. "Honggu, Black Vulture King, you guys are here too." Wang Xian looked at them and smiled. "Honggu, I didn't expect you to improve so quickly after not seeing each other for more than 1,000,000 years. Is this still fast? Compared to you, I'm already very slow, alright?" Ling Honggu was speechless when he heard Wang Xian. Ling Honggu's strength had already broken through to the 4th order sovereign realm. His speed of improvement was considered heaven-defying even among the peak races. However, compared to Wang Xian, the difference was too great. Of course, the main reason was that Wang Xian could skip many levels. His current realm was only the second-order sovereign realm. Greetings, Dragon King. The experts from the Skeleton Clan bowed to Wuxia and greeted him respectfully. Dragon King, this is the Dark Bone King, my boss. The Black Vulture King introduced from the side. Oh. Wang Ming, nice to meet you, Dark Bone King. Wuxia nodded his head immediately. The Dark Bone King was the king of the Black Vulture King. Now that Ling Honggu's strength had improved by leaps and bounds, coupled with the fact that they knew Wuxia, the Dark Bone King was also polite to the Black Vulture King. Dragon King, I've heard a lot about you. The Dark Bone King said with a smile. Wuxia exchanged some pleasantries with him before looking at Ling Honggu. How are you doing in the Starry Sky universe? Seeing how fast you improved, you must have encountered many opportunities, right? It's alright, mainly because there aren't any shackles in my improvement. Ling Honggu and Wuxia had not seen each other for a long time. Before long, some experts from the Skeleton Clan came over and started chatting with Wuxia. Now that the Dragon Palace had reconciled with the Angel Clan and Phoenix Clan, and the Dragon Palace possessed invincible strength in the Starry Sky universe, many pinnacle clans were more than happy to befriend Wuxia. Soon, a peak sovereign king from the Skeleton Clan came over and exchanged some pleasantries. Oh yes, Skeleton King, Elf Queen. Do you guys know anything about the universe of faith? After chatting for a long time, Wuxia asked. We, the Skeleton Clan, don't know much about it. We were born after the last cataclysm. However, I'm sure the Elf Queen knows a lot about it. I'm a little curious. The peak sovereign king Skeleton King smiled and looked at the Elf Queen. The pinnacle clans had not been involved in any large-scale wars. Therefore, the relationship between them was still alright. The universe of faith is a very powerful universe. Everyone should know that other than our Starry Sky universe, there are many other universes. Each universe has a different cultivation system. The Elf Queen looked at them and started her introduction. Chapter 3801. The cultivation method of the universe of faith is to collect the power of faith. They develop their followers and get them to offer their faith. Through the heart of faith, they collect the power of faith. The power of faith is unclear. It's the exclusive power of that particular universe. However, it has very powerful means. The gods of the universe of faith have all kinds of powerful means, especially when they're in a life and death situation. They can make their followers sacrifice their lives in a faraway place, and then explode with terrifying strength. When you encounter the gods of the universe of faith, it's best to hold them back when they explode. Their explosiveness is limited, just like the Phoenix Clan's life ignition. In addition, the universe of faith has another very powerful point that we have to pay attention to. The faith runes they condense are the wills of countless followers. Once these faith runes are injected into the bodies of other living beings, their thoughts will be cleansed by the countless wills of faith, and they will be forcibly turned into their followers. As long as it's a living being, they can use this method to control them. The Elf Queen explained to Wuxia and the experts from the Skeleton Clan. Every universe had its own strengths and unique characteristics. The universe of faith's methods were also very strange. They can actually force an expert to become their own follower. This method is really terrifying. Wuxia sighed. It's indeed very powerful. However, their faith runes have little effect on the sorcerer race, the underworld tribe, and the sage bloodline. In fact, they are immune to it. This is because the spirit and will of the sorcerer race's sage bloodline and the underworld tribe are very terrifying and unique. The Elf Queen nodded. At this time he looked around and said, all the pinnacle races are here. Wuxia looked over and saw experts from the Phoenix Clan, the Angel Clan, the Royal Clan, and many others flying over from the Starry Universe. In the surroundings, the experts of the Peak Clans had also arrived. Since everyone is here, let's begin. The Pinnacle Sovereign Skeleton King said as he looked over at the Celestial Nation. All 13 pinnacle races are here. Let's begin. A Pinnacle Sovereign expert from the Celestial Nation nodded and said, among the 13 pinnacle races, other than Wuxia from the Dragon Palace, there were hundreds of experts from the other pinnacle races. Every pinnacle race had a Pinnacle Sovereign expert. One could imagine how important this matter was to them. Let's begin. An old man wearing a bamboo hat from the sorcerer tribe said in a hoarse voice. The experts from the Angel clan and the Phoenix clan swept their gazes across the surroundings and fixed their eyes on Wang Xian. However, they did not show any hostility. Since they had already asked for peace, it was impossible for them to show deep hatred after seeing each other. There was no need for that. According to the report of a fourth-order sovereign realm disciple of our celestial empire, an expert from the universe of faith has been discovered in the depths of the universe. In other words, it's on the other side of the passage. That disciple of our celestial nation had no choice but to commit suicide after the faith rune entered his body. In order to be resurrected, he was able to do so. The Immortal King of the Celestial Nation said. Immortal King was the title given to experts at the peak of the sovereign realm in the Immortal Empire. In the Celestial Nation, there was an unknown Celestial King. To be able to control a fourth-order sovereign realm's faith rune, it should be a sixth-order sovereign realm's faith rune. An expert from the Saints' bloodline said. Because their cultivation systems are different, I don't know their exact strength. The Celestial King from the Celestial Nation shook his head. We don't know when the universe of faith will enter the universe. We have to be prepared. When our two universes meet, there's no way we can coexist peacefully. Indeed, there's no way we can coexist peacefully. Although they weren't our mortal enemies during the last cataclysm, they caused us quite a bit of trouble when we were fighting against the Void Universe. If it wasn't for the Void Universe, we would have annihilated those fellows from the universe of faith. The sorcerer wearing a bamboo hat from the sorcerer tribe suddenly said. The universe of faith is indeed not a good thing. In the last cataclysm, they conquered a universe and incorporated it into their faith. Now that they can break through the barrier of the universe, they must have connected with another universe as well. With the resources of two universes, their strength must have increased by a terrifying amount. Given the aggressive nature of the universe of faith, they will definitely want to plunder more universes when the cataclysm arrives. The Elf Queen said. Their words had uncovered a corner of the universe, leaving Wang Xian bewildered. He did not expect the universe of faith to be so strong. Our Nine Essences universe has a grudge against them? In that case, we can't let them obtain more resources from the Starry Sky universe. The expert from the Divine Tiger clan said. In this era, the Sage bloodline, the Divine Tiger bloodline, the Skeleton clan, the Celestial Nation bloodline, and the Royal clan were the new pinnacle races of the universe. They did not know much about the previous cataclysm. Of course, not all of them were ignorant. There were still some old fellows among the peak clans who knew a little. This was because the people who established the Sage bloodline, the Divine Tiger bloodline, the Skeleton clan, and the Celestial Nation were all experts who had survived the last cataclysm. However, they didn't come this time, nor did they tell their clansmen about this. After all, the cataclysm would only arrive in a few billion years. The cataclysm will arrive in a few billion years. Just like before, the Void Cosmos is our #1 enemy. There's no doubt about that. The Faith Cosmos used to be our enemy as well. They're getting stronger and stronger, and will invade the other cosmos. Therefore, we need to increase our strength as soon as possible. Because of the Starry Sky Universe passageway, and the birth of the powerful skeletons, our Nine Essences universe is much stronger than it was during the last cataclysm. A female devil expert from the Devil clan said with a smile. She flapped her wings. Hee, is that so? Then it seems like the peak clans of the past did not have many experts. The Skeleton King, who was not far away from Wang Xian, said with a smile. The Skeleton clan was born in this era. Due to their unique characteristics, they could be said to be born from the remains of the deceased from the previous cataclysm. Therefore, the strength of the Skeleton clan was truly formidable. Even the peak clans that had existed for several cataclysms would not underestimate the existence of the Skeleton clan. Now we need to formulate a strategy. Chapter 3802. Against the universe of faith, there's no doubt that we have to fight for resources. Moreover, the experts of the universe of faith are also resources to us. In addition, those from the universe of faith have already entered the Starry Sky universe. Given the way they do things, they will definitely attack our disciples. This time, Our celestial nation disciples were attacked by them first. The celestial nation immortal king said. The faith power universe is extremely aggressive, Yang Qi said. If they encounter experts from the Nine Essences universe, they'll definitely try to take control of them. The fairy queen nodded. Then there's no need to say anything. If we encounter the gods of the universe of faith, just kill them. The Pinnacle Sovereign Skeleton King said directly. Several experts from the Pinnacle races nodded. Not only that. Since we're enemies, we have to hunt down the disciples of the universe of faith. A powerful sorcerer from the sorcerer tribe said. Wang Xian wasn't sure who this sorcerer was, but he could be an ancestral sorcerer. Clearly, the sorcerer tribe and the universe of faith must have had a huge conflict during the last cataclysm. Yes, the gods of the universe of faith contain a huge amount of faith energy. This kind of faith energy is also very useful to us. It can greatly increase the chances of our disciples breaking through. A pinnacle sovereign angel from the angel tribe said with glistening eyes. Faith energy was a special kind of energy that was related to the soul. It contained pure blessings. When the sacred spirits of the Nine Origins universe absorbed it, it could improve their comprehension, which also increased their chances of breaking through. If a pinnacle supremacy expert could kill a pinnacle supremacy and absorb their faith energy, the chances of breaking through would increase by several times. This was a terrifying increase, especially for the disciples who were about to break through. The reason why the cataclysm would erupt was because the living beings of the other universe, or their universe, possessed precious treasures that other universes coveted. The universe of faith also wanted to turn the living beings of the Nine Origins universe into their own believers, to increase their strength. The universe of faith meant that the more believers they had, the stronger they were, and the more powerful the gods would be. There's one terrifying thing about the faith universe. After being baptized by their faith runes, all living beings will become their loyal subordinates. It's fine for the strong, as they can only destroy their memories. But for the weak, they can even retain their memories and obtain important information. The City Queen said. We really do need to be careful about that, Yang Qi said. We need to inform all of the experts and disciples in the Nine Essences universe about the faith power universe. The Celestial Nation's immortal king nodded his head and said, yes. Apart from that, I suggest that every apex race establish a hunting team for the gods of the universe. The sorcerer continued to speak. It is indeed necessary. The expert of the Phoenix clan nodded. Since we're going to fight against those guys from the faith universe, we'll work together. We'll share information, and if we encounter a powerful team of believers, we'll work together. Also, if any pinnacle races are in danger and need help, the other pinnacle races will immediately come to support them. An expert from the Saints' bloodline said. Sure. The experts of the Peak clans nodded. We, the wizard tribe, can create a compass to test the faith of the gods. I have some here. They are all from the past. I'll give you some. The sorcerer of the sorcerer tribe waved his arm and black compasses flew towards the experts from the pinnacle tribes. Each of the pinnacle races had over 100 of them. Clearly, these were detection treasures that the wizard tribe and the gods of the universe had created during the last cataclysm in order to deal with them. Thank you, Ten-Armed Sorcerer. The Celestial Nation's immortal king thanked the sorcerer. Ten-Armed Sorcerer? Wang Xian's eyes flickered when he heard this name. The sorcerer tribe was mysterious and powerful. They had been around for as long as the mystical dragon tribe. They were also existences that had gone through several cataclysms. Although they had yet to produce a heavenly origin creation realm existence, it was rumored that if the 12 sorcerer tribe ancestors joined forces, they could contend against the heavenly origin creation realm. In short, the wizard tribe was the most mysterious in the Nine Essences universe. Thank you, Ten-Armed Sorcerer. Wang Xian and the experts from the other pinnacle races expressed their gratitude. Apart from that, there's one more thing to take note of. The gods of the universe might take in the cosmic beasts as their followers. Ten-Armed Sorcerer added. The experts from the pinnacle races nodded. Since that's the case, it's decided. On the communication stone plate, the 13 pinnacle races will open a separate channel. Only 7th order sovereigns and above can enter. This is to prevent disciples from being forcefully taken in as followers by the gods of the universe, and divulging their movements and secrets. The celestial nation's immortal king said. The experts from the pinnacle races nodded again. If you're confident, kill more of the gods of the universe. The more you kill, the better it will be for your respective pinnacle races. Ten-armed sorcerer spoke again as he looked at Wuxia. Dragon King, your dragon palace has the ancient god Kuan breeder. You won't be suppressed by the universe over there. If you're strong enough, you can kill more of them. It will be beneficial for your dragon palace too. Of course, you have to take note of the trump card of the universe. They might be able to deal with a fifth-order sovereign Kuan. Anyway, this is a reminder for you, Dragon King, Ten-armed sorcerer said to Wuxia. Thank you for your reminder, Ten-armed sorcerer. I understand. Wuxia nodded as his eyes flickered. If the power of faith in the gods of the universe really had the same effect as the dragon baptism pool, Wuxia would not hesitate to hunt the gods of the universe without restraint. As for being careful, Wuxia did not really care. Lan Qingyue, Xiaolan, and the rest were not fifth-order sovereigns but sixth-order sovereigns. The gods of the universe would also be suppressed when they entered the starry universe. Xiaolan and the rest could fight against ninth-order sovereigns. He did not believe that the trump card of the other party could deal with them. The current strength of the Dragon Palace does have a great advantage in the starry universe. The Elf Queen looked at Wuxia and said with a smile. The rest of the experts from the pinnacle races also nodded slightly. However, they did not say anything. Chapter 3803. The Fiend Devil Tribe. A powerful enemy has appeared in the starry sky. A living being who believes in the universe has appeared. This is an enemy of the Nine Essences universe. The Fiend Devil Tribe is going to form a squad to hunt down these worshippers. Creatures that believed in the universe had faith power, and the strangest thing they could do was to use faith runes to control other creatures and make them submit to them, forever following their orders. Disciples of the other races, take note. If you encounter any living beings who don't have any of the 9 elements of the 9 Essences universe, flee immediately. You can report this information to any of the other races. All the high-level races can join our fiend race and hunt the beings of the universe who believe in us. Shaman Tribe. A powerful enemy has appeared. A living being who believes in the universe has appeared in the starry sky. An enemy of the 9 Essences universe has appeared. The Shaman Tribe will form a team to hunt down the living beings who believe in the universe. The angels were speechless. The phoenixes were speechless. Immortal Kingdom was speechless. Saint was speechless for a second. Dragon Palace was speechless. After the 13 peak races finished their discussion, they used the name of the peak races to spread the news to all of the experts and disciples in the 9 Essences universe. This announcement was mainly made to inform the disciples of the high-level races. Currently, many of the high-level races had already pledged their allegiance to the apex races. But there were still some who did not join. This news was also a reminder to them. After all, this was a clash between 2 universes, and all of the disciples from the 9 Essences universe were on their side. If a large number of disciples from the 9 Essences universe were taken in by the Faith universe, the 9 Essences universe would be in big trouble. During the previous cataclysm, the reason why the universe of faith was able to conquer another universe was because of this method of taking in believers and breaking through from within. Wuxia also made a statement in the name of the pinnacle races. However, after his statement, another statement was made. Dragon Palace. The Dragon Palace recruits aquatic creatures. Those who join the Dragon Palace will receive the Divine Dragon bloodline. Currently, the Dragon Palace had more than 8 million experts and disciples. This wasn't a large number. Compared to all the top clans, it was considered a small number. He decided to recruit more disciples to increase the number of disciples in the Dragon Palace to at least 10 million. 10 million was Wuxia's target. This was also a number that Wuxia wanted to maintain. 10 million disciples of Dragon Palace had all reached the peak of the Venerable Realm. This was an extremely terrifying combat power. Among the 10 million disciples, those who had broken through to the Sovereign Realm would be able to form a Sovereign Core in the future. In order to better prepare for the cataclysm, Hiss, what's going on? Faith in the universe. What was the universe of faith? For the 13 apex races to make such a statement at the same time. Is something big going to happen? Oh my god, the 13 peak races have spoken at the same time. This is too shocking. Are we going to fight against the powerhouses of the universe of faith in the starry sky? It can't be. All the peak races have made a statement at the same time. Does this mean that the starry sky universe is about to become dangerous? All the apex races have formed hunting squads and joined forces. This is crazy. The 13 apex races are joining forces to fight against the other universes. I feel like a war is about to break out. I heard from the experts of the witch tribe that we will send more experts over to hunt down the disciples of the experts who believe in the cosmos. Hunt and kill living beings that believe in the universe and obtain the heart of faith, which is helpful in breaking through the shackles. When the 13 pinnacle races released the news at the same time, it caused a huge uproar. Faith in the universe? War erupts? The 13 peak races working together? Every piece of news was like a blow to the hearts of the experts and disciples of the high-ranking races of the 9 Essences universe. This news was too shocking. Soon, Wuxia's second announcement also caused quite a commotion. The Dragon Palace is recruiting disciples, and those who pass will be rewarded with the divine dragon bloodline? Wow, it can't be. The Dragon Palace is provoking disciples. This is a heaven-sent opportunity for the marine races. Although the Dragon Palace's current strength is not among the apex races, the potential of the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace is too terrifying. He can kill a 7th Order sovereign within a short period of time. He also has the terrifying ancient god Kuan breeder. He is invincible in the starry sky universe. Even the Phoenix race and the Angel race have bowed to the Dragon Palace. Joining the Dragon Palace is definitely an opportunity for all marine races experts. There are many experts in the Dragon Palace. In the past millions of years, I have not seen any experts below the pinnacle of the Venerable Realm. I want to join. The news from the Dragon Palace caused quite a stir among the marine races. When the other races saw this, they felt slightly regretful. However, compared to the news from the Dragon Palace, the news about the universe of faith was too shocking. The experts and disciples of the entire 9 Essences universe were discussing it. Even the experts and disciples of the apex races were shocked. To them, this was the first time they had encountered creatures from other universes. Prime Minister Turtle, form a hunting team of the Dragon Palace and bring out the strongest force of the Dragon Palace. In addition, the advancement seed on the progenitor tree should have matured by now. Give it to a disciple of the Dragon Palace. Wuxia sent a message to Prime Minister Turtle at the Universe Passage. Yes, Dragon King. Prime Minister Turtle replied quickly. Also, get Lan Qingyue to place a Kuan in the hunting team of the Dragon Palace. Wuxia murmured. The strength of the Dragon Palace was still too weak. Even if the hunting team was successfully formed, the strongest one was only Bei Shuang, who had the strength of a 3rd Order sovereign. This hunting team could be said to be the weakest among the apex races. However, it would be different with a Kuan following them. He got Lan Qingyue to bring the other 2 Kuan to continue searching for opportunities in the starry sky universe. Wuxia was ready to hunt for himself. He wanted to see if he could meet a creature of the universe of faith. After killing it, he would see if the so-called heart of faith was worth it. If it was really as the 10-armed sorcerer ancestor had said, it could greatly increase his strength. In that case, Wuxia would start hunting on a large scale. Currently, the Dragon Palace was not lacking in resources. Many disciples had already reached the pinnacle of the Venerable Realm. In addition, those in the Sovereign Realm had all reached the pinnacle of the 1st Order, and the pinnacle of the 2nd Order Sovereign Realm. If the heart of faith obtained from hunting could help the disciples of the Dragon Palace to break through quickly, the strength of the Dragon Palace would increase explosively. After all, the shackles were the most important for experts above the pinnacle of the Venerable Realm. Breaking through the shackles was far more troublesome than accumulating resources. He moved and immediately flew towards the inner part of the starry sky universe. The rest of the apex races also began to make preparations. This was an opportunity, but at the same time, it could also be a disaster. Chapter 3804. Who would have thought that the Starry Sky universe would have a disciple from the Nine Essences universe? Just as the peak races of the Nine Essences universe were beginning to form armies of disciples who hunted for power of faith, at the entrance of the Starry Sky universe and the Faith universe. At this moment, a large number of believers of the universe had gathered there. This was especially so for the few gods in the center. Their bodies were surrounded by divine sounds, and countless figures were singing and praising around them. The Starry Sky universe also had a terrifying suppressive force on the powerhouses who believed in the universe. The powerful gods who believed in the universe also did not dare to step into the Starry universe, because this was the Starry Sky universe. The Starry Sky behemoths of the Starry Sky cosmos had no intelligence, but the Starry Sky cosmos began to have heavenly primordial fortune behemoths. They had a sense of territory. They might not care about some ants entering their domain, but if a lion came in, they would definitely annihilate it. The gods who believed in the universe did not dare to take a step forward. As a matter of fact, they had already sent their experts in. However, they had all been destroyed by the powerful giant star beasts of the Starry Sky universe. At this point, they understood the rules of the Starry Sky universe. The Nine Essences universe isn't weak. However, during the last cataclysm, our Faith universe emerged victorious. Our strength has doubled, and we're now far stronger than the Nine Essences universe. Since there are disciples from the Nine Essences universe here, let's use them to test our strength. If the Nine Essences universe isn't strong enough, then when the cataclysm arrives, we can consider developing them into our universe of believers. One of the gods said faintly, "Haha, considering how strong we are, when the cataclysm comes, we won't have to fear any of the other universes. We'll take the resources of the Starry Sky universe, and we'll take the living beings of the Nine Essences universe as well." One of the gods laughed and said, "The people from the Nine Essences universe might have already noticed our arrival. We need to be careful. That's especially true of the Nine Essences universes, witch folk and fiend devils. They're very difficult to deal with." A Pantheon expert said calmly, "How many fifth-grade star behemoths have become our followers over the past million years?" A Pantheon expert asked. In the past million years, after some exploration of the Starry Sky universe, the method of exploration in the Pantheon universe was different from that of the Starry Sky universe. The gods' strength came from the power of faith. The more believers they had, the stronger they were, and the stronger they themselves were. In order to better explore the universe, their first target was the Fifth-Order Sovereign Realm space beasts. As for the Fifth-Order Sovereign Realm star beasts, they needed to work together and spend a lot of time imprinting faith runes on them. Only then would they be able to absorb the Fifth-Order Sovereign Realm star beast. Because of this, a large number of rank 7 gods had joined forces. Even the matter of exploring the Starry Sky universe was put on hold. Their collaboration had also allowed them to reap great rewards. 8 Tier 5 star behemoths have submitted. That's equivalent to 8 Tier 8 gods. A Pantheon expert said. They believed in the cosmos. Rank 8 gods could not enter the Starry Sky universe. Once they entered, they would be attacked by giant star beasts. The strength of an 8th order god was comparable to an 8th order sovereign. 8 rank 5? The Nine Essences universe has been in the Starry Sky universe for who knows how long. They definitely have the power to deal with rank 8 astral beasts. When will they be able to subdue rank 6 astral beasts? A Pantheon expert asked. It's extremely difficult to tame a rank 6 astral beast. We need to tame at least 70 to 80 rank 5 astral beasts, then surround and attack that rank 6 astral beast. That will take tens of millions of years. Another Pantheon expert replied. That's too long. Tens of millions of years. By then, the resources of the Starry Sky universe will have been obtained by the experts of the Nine Essences universe. Let's do it. The races of the Nine Essences universe have trump cards, but so do we. One of the Pantheon experts in the center ordered. All right, let's test the strength of the Nine Essences universe. If they really can't do it, we'll wipe them out when the cataclysm arrives. Ha ha ha. Maniacal laughter rang out as the orders of the Faith universe were sent out. I don't know where the disciples of the faith universe are. I can meet up with Lan Qingyue first, and enter the depths of the starry sky universe to look for some resources. Wang Xian flew rapidly in the starry sky universe. He did not plan to clash with the experts of the faith universe immediately. That would be a waste of time. Just searching for them would take hundreds of years. He could go to the center of the starry sky universe first. Given Wang Xian's current strength, the fact that he could kill a sixth-order sovereign space beast was enough for him to head to the center of the starry sky cosmos to take a look. Of course, he still did not dare to go to the boundless starry sky of the starry sky universe. The boundless starry sky was like the center of the great wilderness continent when the Nine Essences universe was created. The center of the great wilderness continent had 12 pinnacle races. There were many experts of the sixth-order sovereign realm and above. It was the same for the boundless starry sky. If a seventh-order sovereign realm giant beast came, Wang Xian and the others would be devoured. However, they could go to places that the other pinnacle races could not enter. There were definitely large amounts of resources and treasures there. When the disciples of the faith universe appeared and clashed with the Nine Essences universe, Wang Xian would go and take a look. He sent a message to Lan Qingyue. Soon Lan Qingyue replied. In the past million years, Lan Qingyue had reaped great rewards. With Xiao Lan and the others, they had hunted some fifth-order sovereign realm giant beasts, and even a sixth-order sovereign realm giant beast. However, this was not suitable. It was better to hunt the experts of the Nine Essences universe. After all, even though their strength was suppressed, they still had a lot of energy in their bodies. However, other than the corpses of the giant beasts, they had also obtained a lot of resources from a large number of planets. Wang Xian decided to rendezvous with Lan Qingyue. They continued exploring. After flying for a few years, Xiao Lan and the others finally appeared in Wang Xian's sight. Qingyue. He flew over quickly and shouted, Xiao Xian. Lan Qingyue smiled and greeted. What's the situation over at the Faith Universe? Why did another universe appear out of nowhere? I don't know. But we don't have to worry. In the Starry Sky universe, our Dragon Palace is not afraid of them. Wang Xian smiled and shook his head. Maybe they can bring us some benefits. That's good. Oh right, Xiao Lan and I found a treasure land. However, there is a race of giant beasts with several sixth-order sovereigns there. Lan Qingyue smiled and said. Chapter 3805. Oh. Wang Xian's eyes lit up when he heard Lan Qingyue's information. Found a treasure land? Lan Qingyue could reach a place that the other pinnacle races couldn't. The treasure land inside was definitely not simple. Where is it? How many sixth-order universe sovereigns are there? Wang Xian asked hurriedly. There should be 7 or 8. Lan Qingyue said. I'm not too sure. However, after your Tai Chi Dragon Board and 5 Elements Grindstone improved, we should be able to go over. Let's go. Wang Xian nodded. Let's go over and take a look. Ever since the Dragon Palace entered the Starry Universe, there hasn't been any blessed land of our own. When the Dragon Palace entered the Starry Universe, they didn't occupy any blessed land. The rest of the pinnacle races had all found their own blessed lands in the Starry Universe. Such blessed lands could greatly improve the strength of their disciples. All right. Lan Qingyue nodded. Both of them moved and landed on Xiao Zhai's body. Xiao Lan was already flying towards the trading corridor. He was going to meet up with the experts from the Dragon Palace to form a hunting team. Of course, Xiao Lan's main purpose was to protect them. After all, the disciples of the Dragon Palace were still too weak. Xiao Lan alone was equivalent to a powerful team from a pinnacle race. The starry sky in that direction is a little strange. It's all black and red. When you enter that place, you will be shrouded in a red poisonous fog. Lan Qingyue said. When Xiao Lan, Xiao Zhai and I entered, we were warned by the space beasts inside. We saw 7 or 8 sixth-order sovereigns, but we didn't see any stronger ones. If there were stronger ones, they wouldn't have warned us and would have attacked us directly. Wang Xian nodded his head slightly. Xiao Zhai brought them along and flew towards that direction quickly. They were very fast. They weren't far from the place that Lan Qingyue mentioned. Soon, a region shrouded in black and red appeared in their line of sight. Wang Xian looked over and his eyes sparkled. There's something strange about this place. In the depths, the black and red energy is condensing and materializing. It's like strange flesh and blood. Wang Xian said. Yes, this should be a special kind of energy. The giant star beast inside is also very strange. It's a bit disgusting, like an octopus without claws. Lan Qingyue nodded her head. Let's go. If there are only 7 or 8 sixth-order sovereign realm space beasts there, we can occupy an area and even kill them. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled. The Tai Chi dragon plate and the 5 elements grindstone could contend against 6 sixth-order sovereigns. If Lan Qingyue and the rest were to go all out, they should be able to take on 4 to 5 of them. If Xiaolan was here, it would be even stronger. Woo-woo. The small house growled and immediately flew inside. Walala. Walala. At this moment, a series of strange noises came from inside. Soon after, Wang Xian saw many tentacle-like octopuses flying over. Their bodies were black, and there was a red dot on them. They looked a little creepy. 2 incomparably huge eyes stared at the small house and Wang Xian and the group. 5 of these giant star beasts were staring at them. In addition, there were other giant star beasts that were weaker than the giant star beasts. Wang Xian waved his arm, and the 5 elements grindstone hovered in the air. In an instant, it enlarged to the size of the small house and the group. A wave of terrifying energy rushed towards them. Let's go the small house. Let's go in. Wang Xian ordered the small house and the group. Roar roar. The 5 giant star beasts let out warning sounds when they saw them flying in. Walala. At this time, another 3 sixth-order sovereign realm space beasts flew over from behind, glaring at Wang Xian and the rest with cold eyes. Other than them, there were dozens of giant star beasts warning them as well. Obviously, they did not want them to enter. Woo-woo. The small house growled and conveyed the message to enter. Lan Qingyue's body shook as she unleashed the powerful force of the ancient god Kuan breeder towards the front. The group of giant star beasts on the other side was a little restless. Roar roar. All of a sudden, the red dot on the giant star beast in the middle emitted beams of blood-red light, and attacked Wang Xian and the group. Seeing the group of giant star beasts launching their attacks, Wang Xian's eyes revealed a sinister look. Qingyue, annihilate them. Wang Xian roared and waved his arm. The divine dragon on the 5 elements grindstone roared and shrouded the giant star beasts with terrifying 5 elements power. From this side, Wang Xian could sense a unique and powerful energy within. Therefore he had to enter. The group of giant star beasts on the other side roared and released beams of blood-red energy. Fish in the northern underworld, roar of the Kuan. Lan Qingyue shouted and a wave of energy surged into the bodies of the small house and little white. The strongest point of the ancient god Kuan breeder was to fight with his Kuan. In the past million years, Lan Qingyue had killed 6th-order sovereign giant star beasts and had rich combat experience. Woo-woo-woo. Woo-woo-woo. Xiao Zhai and Little White opened their mouths at the same time. Their roar of the Kuan was not a sound wave attack. Instead, it was a terrifying Kuan mouth formed by grayish energy. The huge mouth of the Kuan swallowed the group of giant star beasts. Wang Xian clenched his fist and punched forward. The light and darkness forces on the Tai Chi dragon fat instantly formed 2 light and dark divine dragons and attacked. Rumble, rumble, rumble. In the next instant, the sound of collision was heard and terrifying energy surged towards the surroundings. Wang Xian moved and locked onto a giant star beast. He attacked it directly. When the giant star beast saw Wang Xian attacking it, its blood-red eyes emitted a bloody mist that shrouded the entire space. Kuan domain. Little White and Xiao Zhai roared and used a wave of energy to resist the attack of the domain. The grayish energy collided with the blood-red energy and dissipated the energy. Roar roar. The other 7 giant star beasts saw this and immediately attacked Xiao Zhai and Little White. Qingyue, help me hold off the other 7. I'll kill this guy first. Wang Xian bellowed. With the help of the Tai Chi dragon plate, he attacked the galactic beast once again. Chapter 3806. All right. Lan Qingyue's eyes lit up when she heard Wang Xian. She stared at the group of dirty giant space beasts and waved her arm. Buzz buzz buzz. In the blink of an eye, Waves of gray energy erupted from Xiao Otaku, Whitey, and the others' bodies. The grayish energy was almost tangible. In the blink of an eye, the surrounding area had turned into a gray sea. Kuan rises in the sea. Lan Qingyue shouted and stood in the sky above the mansion, and Little White. The grayish ocean surged towards the other 7 giant space beasts. The terrifying energy caused the 7 Sixth-Order Sovereign Realm space beasts to feel a trace of danger. A blood-red light flew out from one of the giant space beasts and attacked Lan Qingyue and the rest. Woo-woo-woo. Woo-woo-woo. Xiao Bai and the rest let out a low growl as the grayish energy on their bodies condensed into swimming fishes and shrouded them. Boom boom boom. Rumble. Rumble. The sounds of violent collisions and explosions continued to ring out. The terrifying shockwaves engulfed Wang Xian and the rest. However, the aftermath of the battle was easily blocked by the Tai Chi Dragon Plate when it landed on Wang Xian. Lan Qingyue, the rest, and the 5 Elements Grindstone were enough to help him pin down the 7 Sixth-Order Sovereign Space Beasts. As for him, he only needed to deal with 1 Sixth-Order Sovereign Space Beast. He charged over with the Light and Darkness Divine Dragons circling around him. Roar roar. When the giant space beast saw Wang Xian charging over, its blood-red eyes revealed a violent look. Similarly, it dashed towards Wang Xian. Its body looked extremely soft and sticky. That blood-red dot of light contained a strange energy. Wang Xian swung his arm and punched forward. The 2 energy dragons of light and darkness blasted toward him. Buzz. On the opposite giant space beast, a blood-red light spot met the attack. The light spot didn't have any strange shape or pattern. Its attack looked very primitive. However, this blood-red dot of light contained terrifying power. The light spot collided with the Light and Darkness Divine Dragons and gradually dissipated. The Light and Dark Divine Dragons continued to attack him. It shook its huge body and charged directly at the Light-Dark Divine Dragon. His entire body was like a strange flesh and blood. The Light and Darkness Divine Dragon entered his body, and his body squirmed incessantly. Seeing this, Wang Xian's expression remained unchanged. He continued to fly towards him without slowing down. The star behemoth burst forth with dazzling light to meet them. The collision began. Buzz! The red spots of light on the giant galactic beast moved, and the flesh on its body squirmed. Suddenly, a horrifying mouth appeared in front of Wang Xian. The bloody mouth was about to devour Wang Xian. Wang Xian did not attack. Instead, he spun the Tai Chi dragon wheel around him and dashed inside. The giant star beast let out a joyful cry, as if it was celebrating the end of this battle. When Wang Xian was devoured into his body, a wave of horrifying energy rushed towards him. But at this moment, Wang Xian revealed a faint smile. The Taiji Dragon Coil's strongest point was its defense. Not only could it defend, but it could also cause a terrifying backlash. If he couldn't instantly break through the Tai Chi Dragon Coil's defense, he would suffer a terrifying backlash. In terms of attack power, the Tai Chi Dragon Coil was much stronger than the 5 Elements Grindstone. But in terms of defense and backlash, the Tai Chi Dragon Coil was extremely horrifying. Wang Xian was instantly attacked when he was devoured by the giant star beast. The Tai Chi Dragon Coil began to spin to protect Wang Xian. At the same time, waves of curse energy rushed towards the giant star beast. Arg! Soon, the giant star beast that was celebrating suddenly let out a horrifying cry. Its body began to bleed, and large amounts of blood gushed out. Waves of horrifying energy rushed towards his body. At the same time, a wave of energy squeezed towards Wang Xian, trying to force him out. Since you're already in, you still want me to get out? Wang Xian chuckled. With a wave of his arm, the light and darkness force rushed towards the giant star beast. Boom! The instinctive retaliation caused blood-red meatballs to appear in the giant star beast's body. These meatballs charged towards Wang Xian. Boom boom boom. The meatballs exploded with horrifying energy, engulfing Wang Xian instantly. Woo-woo. However, the giant star beast let out a blood-curdling scream. It twisted its body frantically as its vitality dropped at a terrifying speed. Die. Wang Xian revealed a faint smile when he saw this. If not for the giant star beast swallowing him into its stomach, Wang Xian would have needed a long time to kill it. However, swallowing him into its stomach and attacking him indiscriminately was akin to attacking itself. Its attacks couldn't break the Tai Chi dragon coil. Moreover, it was an attack within its body. It was simply attacking itself without any defense. This caused its vitality to be depleted rapidly. Wang Xian moved his body and charged towards the flesh above him. In the next second, he transformed into a humongous divine dragon with the Tai Chi dragon coil covering him. He broke through the body of the giant star beast. The horrifying wound and the previous injuries caused its vitality to plummet. Death. The first one. I've killed the first one. 7 more to go. The rest will be easy. Wang Xian focused his gaze. Lan Qingyue and the 2 Kuns could easily deal with 5. The Tai Chi dragon coil could also deal with 3. Now another one was dead. They had formed a strong suppressive force. Wang Xian turned into a divine dragon and fixed his eyes on the nearest 6th-order sovereign giant star beast. He charged towards it. When the 6th-order sovereign realm space beast saw Wang Xian killing one of its clansmen, it let out a fearful roar as it charged towards him. But in the next second his roar became excited. At the back, more than a dozen space beasts below the 6th-order sovereign realm responded in unison as they flew towards the lone space beast. To Wang Xian's surprise, the dozen 4th-order and 5th-order sovereign giant star beasts rushed into the body of the giant star beast. They fused perfectly. They were like flesh and blood, fusing together perfectly. The giant star beast that was fused had an obvious increase in strength. Fuse, all of you have to die too. Wang Xian let out a low grunt and charged towards it without reducing his speed. Roar roar. At this time, a body identical to the 6th-order sovereign realm giant star beast suddenly emerged from the body of the 6th-order sovereign realm giant star beast. Its entire body was elongated as it lunged towards Wang Xian. Chapter 3807. Rumble, rumble, rumble. An identical space beast emerged from the body of the 6th-order sovereign and charged towards Wang Xian. Wang Xian was slightly taken aback by this bizarre attack. However, to Wang Xian, it was merely a slight increase in strength. The size of the giant star beast was a few hundred times that of Wang Xian in his divine dragon form. The gigantic giant star beast emitted blood-red radiance as it charged towards Wang Xian. Boom. An incomparably dull sound was heard. Wang Xian narrowed his eyes and revealed a sinister look. Bam. A deafening collision sound was heard. Wang Xian could sense the blood-red energy starting to explode. Waves of corrosive energy charged towards his body. Roar, roar, roar. However, in the next second, the giant star beast let out a violent scream. Its attack still couldn't break through Wang Xian's defense. Bam, bam, bam. Wang Xian whipped his dragon tail, which was imbued with the power of the Tai Chi dragon coil, and swept towards the giant star beast. Boom. A surge of light and dark energy collided, and the dragon tail penetrated the body of the giant star beast. Black and red blood flowed continuously. Roar, roar. Wang Xian reached out with his dragon claws. The power of light and darkness coalesced as he clawed at the body of the giant star beast. Large amounts of flesh and blood were ripped off. Roar, roar, roar. The giant star beast let out a blood-red shriek. There was a hint of fear in its blood-red eyes. Roar, roar, roar. It roared loudly, looked at the other 6 giant star beasts, and let out a cry for help. Roar, roar. Roar, roar. The other 6 6th-order sovereign realm space beasts responded in unison, and a trace of fear flashed through their eyes. They could already sense that the strength of the other party wasn't something they could contend with. Roar, roar, roar. The giant star beasts roared as they began to retreat. Don't let them escape, Wang Xian bellowed. He swayed his dragon body and continued to attack the giant beast of the starry sky. Dragon claws, dragon tail. As they were all relying on the Tai Chi dragon coil to attack, their attacks were very primitive. Even so, with the Tai Chi dragon coil, each attack could leave a large number of wounds on the giant star beast. Roar! That galactic beast let out a low growl. Energy enveloped its entire body to defend against Wang Xian's attack. Now he didn't attack at all, only defending. The other 6 giant starry sky beasts did the same and quickly retreated to the depths. Blue Moon, kill one first. Wang Xian bellowed to Lan Qingyue. All right. Lan Qingyue responded immediately. She waved her arm and a gray spear instantly appeared above her head. With a swing of his arm, the gray spear struck towards the galactic beast before Wang Xian. Woo woo. Woo woo. Xiao Lan and Xiao Otaku growled as well, and the gray sea surrounding them revolved around the terrifying gray spear. It was as if the entire sea was carrying a long spear and attacking the star behemoth. Sensing the threat of death, the giant star beast couldn't help but let out a wild roar. The other 6 star behemoths in front of him looked over and let out low growls. They wanted to save him, but it was too late. The terrifying attack landed on the star behemoth. The grayish destruction spear pierced through his body, and the terrifying grayish sea engulfed him. Under the attack of Lan Qingyue and the rest, the giant star beast was instantly killed. Wang Xian was shocked when he saw this. This was the ancient god Kuan breeder. This was the strength of the ancient god Kuan breeder. The other 6 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm giant star beasts saw this, and their blood-red eyes were filled with violence and murderous intent. They swayed their huge bodies and flew towards the inside quickly. Wang Xian and the rest immediately gave chase. The 6 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm giant star beasts roared towards the depths. Soon they entered a special domain. This was a very strange domain. It looked like a continent, but it wasn't a continent. If one had to describe it, it could be called a continent made of flesh and blood. There were black and red substances on it that looked like meat. When these substances were connected together, they were the size of a dozen cosmic planets. The range wasn't very big, but it wasn't small either. The special substance emitted a powerful energy. It contained the power of vitality and the power of darkness. Vitality and the power of darkness were compatible. In short, it was very strange. There are some plants on top of this strange substance. These plants contain boundless energy. The plants were very strange. They looked like strange balls of flesh, black and red. The 6 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm giant star beasts flew over and roared in unison. Immediately, the giant star beasts below the 6th Order Sovereign Realm responded with hundreds of roars. Following that, giant starry sky beasts could be seen flying towards them. The 6 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm giant star beasts opened their mouths. Buzz buzz buzz. One by one, the giant star beasts entered their mouths as though they had fused into their bodies. Their aura became stronger and stronger. Soon, hundreds of giant star beasts fused into their bodies. In the next moment, a 6th Order Sovereign Realm space beast raised its head and let out a deafening roar. The giant star beasts on both sides immediately rushed into its body. What kind of giant star beast is this? It can even fuse? When Wang Xian and the rest saw this scene, their faces changed slightly and were filled with shock. Stop them! He immediately let out a soft shout. Woo woo woo! Little Otaku, Whitey and the rest immediately roared and opened their mouths. Grayish energy was spat out and condensed into 2 spears. Lan Qingyue waved her arm and 2 grayish chains appeared in her hands. The chains instantly wrapped around the 2 spears and extended forward rapidly. The giant star beasts that were fusing sensed it and flew forward quickly. As they flew, they fused. As they fused, their speed increased tremendously. Roar roar. Soon, the 5 Sixth Order Sovereign Realm giant star beasts completely entered the body of the giant star beast in the center. Its aura became extremely terrifying. However, it did not stop. Instead, it opened its mouth and devoured a piece of flesh that contained powerful energy in front of it. As the flesh entered its stomach, its aura instantly exploded to an even more terrifying level. Its body also doubled in size in an instant. Chapter 3808. Rumble Rumble Rumble. As the 6th Order Sovereign Giant Beast devoured all the other giant beasts of the same species, as well as the meatball, it unleashed a terrifying amount of energy. The energy rose rapidly, causing Wang Xian and the rest to be fearful. Lan Qingyue grabbed a grayish chain with one hand and wrapped it around the grayish spear. She then threw it at the spear. However, just as it was about to reach the giant beast, a blood sphere formed into a shield. Wang. The long spear landed on the shield and was gradually devoured by it. Oh no, Xiao Xian, this giant beast is undergoing a transformation. It seems to be breaking through. Seeing this, Lan Qingyue's expression changed drastically when she felt the terrifying might. she exclaimed in shock. Wang Xian's expression changed as well. In the Starry Sky universe, a 7th-order universe sovereign realm astral beast was comparable to a 9 essences universe sovereign. Wang Xian was very strong with the 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon coil. Lan Qingyue and the rest were equally strong. However, they were still no match for a 7th-order sovereign giant beast even when they joined forces. Especially after this giant beast was upgraded, its strength and attack power were extremely bizarre. Retreat. Wang Xian made a prompt decision and shouted at Lan Qingyue. Without any hesitation, they retreated. The upgraded giant beast of the starry sky could kill Wang Xian, and the rest one by one. At this time, a violent roar came from the mouth of the giant beast. Down below, the flesh-like substance actually began to move. Its claws attacked Wang Xian and the rest. Tai Chi dragon coil. 5 elements grindstone. Block. Wang Xian immediately deployed all his defenses. Woo-woo-woo. Woo-woo-woo. Little White, Little Mansion and the rest roared and opened their mouths. At this time Little White's body suddenly shrunk. Little Mansion swallowed Little White's body. Lan Qingyue moved and went into Little White's mouth. This scene was as though a large koan was calling out to a small koan. Lan Qingyue was in the middle. Ultimate defense. This kind of defense was the ancient god koan breeder's strongest defense. Overlapping defense. Xiao Xian, come to me. Lan Qingyue shouted. Wang Xian moved and flew over immediately. Boom boom boom. In the next second, the claws collided with the 5 elements grindstone, the Tai Chi dragon coil, and the defense of Lan Qingyue and the rest. A wave of impact came over, and their bodies were instantly sent flying forward. Flee immediately. Wang Xian commanded. Without any hesitation, Xiaozhai quickly fled into the distance. Lan Qingyue waved her arms and streams of energy surged into little Otaku's body to strengthen him. Who would have thought that the star behemoth could undergo such a terrifying transformation? Devouring and growing stronger. Wang Xian looked to the back and his expression darkened. Roar! Seeing that its first round of attacks had been fended off, the space beast glared at Wang Xian, and the rest with bloodshot eyes and chased after them rapidly. No, this guy's speed is too fast. Wang Xian looked behind him and spoke with a solemn expression. It was comparable to the pinnacle of the 9 essences universe. Under such circumstances, even the pinnacle experts of the various peak races would only be able to contend against it. They would only be able to kill it if they used their trump cards. Such an existence was not something that Wang Xian and the rest could contend against. Of course, if Wang Xian had absorbed all the resources and enhanced himself, he could still contend with it with his many trump cards. But now he was completely defenseless. Without the speed of the unbeginning Saint Wings, he had no capital to contend against it. At this time, the star beast suddenly opened its mouth and spat out an illusion of a star beast that looked exactly like itself. This illusion of a star beast exuded a terrifying aura of energy. Wang Xian and the rest were at the front. When they felt the energy, their expressions froze. The 5 elements grindstone and the Tai Chi dragon coil had unleashed their defense to the extreme. Xiaozhai and Lan Qingyue emitted grayish energy from their bodies. Boom! A terrifying shockwave spread over. Wang Xian could instantly sense that the Tai Chi dragon coil had collapsed. They couldn't even exert the power of the backlash. Shit. His expression changed slightly. Fortunately, although the Tai Chi dragon coil had collapsed, they had withstood this attack. But what about the next attack? Xiao Xian, the star beast is catching up. It's very fast. Lan Qingyue said anxiously. Hang in there. Let's see if we can get rid of this guy. Wang Xian gritted his teeth. This treasured land must be extraordinary for it to give birth to such a powerful existence. Wang Xian had to get his hands on it. He took out the communication stone plate and immediately contacted Enlai. He sent him a message. Enlai received the message and replied immediately. Wang Xian quickly set up a devil spirit altar in front of him. Her? Xiao Xian, what are you doing? Lan Qingyue looked at him, and her eyes flickered. It's not very useful against the intelligent angel race and phoenix race. But against the unintelligent star beast, our dragon palace has a killer weapon. Wang Xian growled in a low voice. Buzz buzz buzz. Just as he finished his sentence, Enlai's figure appeared in front of him. Other than Enlai, there were many other black figures. Each black figure didn't have a strong aura, but it was very creepy. This was the cursed dragon. The cursed dragon that had turned into a curse. The cursed dragon had a lot of strength, but its attacks were weak. It didn't have the strength to fight beyond its level. At the pinnacle of the honor realm, it was definitely the weakest in terms of combat strength. However, the strength of the cursed dragon didn't lie in its combat strength, but in the power of the curse that was killed. The cursed creatures were existences that even sovereign realm experts wouldn't dare to provoke. The backlash from cursing a living being was enough to kill an ordinary sovereign realm expert. Although the star beast in front of them was comparable to a pinnacle sovereign realm expert, the cursed dragons of the Dragon Palace weren't ordinary cursed creatures. Their curses were even scarier and more powerful than before. This was the only killer weapon in the Dragon Palace. Of course, this killer weapon was a little useless. This was because the experts in the Nine-Source universe could sense the power of the curse of the cursed dragons. They wouldn't be foolish enough to kill the cursed dragons, but they would redirect them. This was also the reason why Wuxia didn't order it to deal with the angel race and phoenix race. Because it wasn't very useful. But it could be used to deal with the star beast in the starry universe. Tens of thousands of cursed dragons appeared in front of Wuxia and the rest, flapping their wings, awaiting orders. Chapter 3809. This is Cursed Dragon. Lan Qingyue's eyes lit up when she saw the tens of thousands of cursed dragons brought by Enlai. Cursed dragon. The most unique type of dragon in the Dragon Palace. It was a suicidal type of dragon. Their appearance was equivalent to suicide. Fortunately, they could be resurrected with the branches of the soul returning wood. Cursed dragons were rarely used in the Dragon Palace. In fact, they had never used them in battles. This was because the experts in the Nine-Source universe knew about the existence of cursed creatures. Moreover, the cursed dragons were very weak in the past. Now that they had reached the pinnacle of the honorable realm, they had basically reached their limit. There was no possibility of them breaking through. This was also the reason why the Dragon Palace had not produced too many cursed dragons. There were a total of 50,000 cursed dragons. 50,000 was the least among the 8 million cursed dragons in the Dragon Palace. At this time, a roar came from behind, following which, waves of horrifying energy attacked Wuxia and the rest. 1,000 cursed dragon disciples go. Wuxia was shocked when he saw the horrifying attack. He immediately ordered the group of cursed dragons. The cursed dragons knew what to do. Without any hesitation, they moved and faced the horrifying attack. 1,000 cursed dragons immediately charged toward the incoming energy. Lan Qingyue and the Five Elements Grindstone also released their strongest defense. As for the Tai Chi Dragon Board, it would take a long time to repair as it had completely collapsed. It would probably take thousands of years or even tens of thousands of years. After all, the Tai Chi Dragon Board, which was at the Ninth Order Sovereign Realm, would not recover so easily. Fortunately, the Tai Chi Dragon Board was mainly formed by the Dragon Soul and the Heart of Light and Darkness. As long as the Dragon Soul and the Heart of Light and Darkness existed, they could recover slowly. Wuxia had yet to encounter such energy to destroy the Dragon Soul. The 1,000 cursed dragons roared. Facing the energy that was enough to annihilate them, they did not panic at all. They did not even feel the slightest bit of fear. Although the cursed dragon had to pay with its life once it was born. However, they did not need to cultivate and improve like the other dragons in the Dragon Palace. They were still very relaxed in the Dragon Palace. Moreover, they could be resurrected. As the saying goes, when you lose something, you also gain a lot of things. There were pros and cons. Becoming a cursed dragon was the choice of many members of the Dragon Palace. This was the first time Wuxia had used the cursed dragon. Before the 1,000-odd cursed dragons could reach the front, the terrifying energy fluctuations caused them to collapse in an instant. Instant death. After all, the gap between them was still too big. However, at the moment of their deaths, a strange energy rushed towards the Seventh Order Sovereign Realm giant space beast. This attack was strange and terrifying. There was no way to defend, no way to dodge. He could only take it head-on. Woo woo woo. However, the 7th Order Sovereign Realm Star Beast's attack was still able to shatter the 5 Elements Grindstone's attack, and it landed on Xiao Zhai's body. When the energy landed on his body, more than half of his body was quickly erased. And this was under the situation where Lan Qingyue and Little White were supporting him with all their might. Facing the attack of this enraged astral beast, Little Otaku could at most withstand 2 or 3 attacks. And this was under the condition that he had the support of the 5 Elements Grindstone. After withstanding the attack, Wang Xian's eyes were fixed on the giant space beast. At the same time, another 1,000 cursed dragons flew out, ready to launch a suicidal attack. Even Wang Xian wasn't confident that he could kill a 7th Order Sovereign Realm giant space beast with 1,000 cursed dragons. After all, this wasn't an ordinary Sovereign Realm expert. It had reached the 7th Order Sovereign Realm, and it was a giant space beast with indomitable vitality. Attack! When Wang Xian saw the giant space beast letting out a violent scream, he immediately gave an order to the other 1,000 cursed dragons. Without any hesitation, the 1,000 cursed dragons charged towards the giant space beast like moths to a flame. When the giant space beast saw another 1,000 ants charging towards it, its body trembled. A wave of dark red energy swept across. 1,000 cursed dragons died in an instant. Roar roar. After the 1,000 cursed dragons died, the starry sky beast's voice became even more desperate and widened. The deafening cry spread across the entire space. Its vitality was disappearing at a terrifying speed. It seems like it's a success. Lan Qingyue stared at the giant space beast closely. Her eyes lit up as she sensed the vitality of the giant space beast. Indeed. Wang Xian looked at the giant space beast in the 7th Order Sovereign Realm. Under the backlash of 2,000 cursed dragons, its vitality was rapidly disappearing. 2,000 cursed dragons could kill a giant space beast in the 7th Order Sovereign Realm. To Wang Xian it was worth it. Of course, Wang Xian couldn't do this often. This was because it took a long time for the cursed dragons to be resurrected. There was a limit to the number of cursed dragons in the Dragon Palace. After resurrection, they would need a lot of resources to advance to the Supremacy Realm. It's completely dead. Wang Xian stared at the giant space beast, and a smile appeared on his face as he watched it die. Let's go over. Next, it was time to reap the rewards. Wang Xian didn't care much about the corpse of a 7th Order Sovereign Realm expert. What he cared about was the value of the space in front of him. This treasure land was extremely strange, and the incomparably huge material was also extremely strange. The entire space was extremely strange. Moreover, according to what Wang Xian knew, the giant space beasts in the starry universe were born from planets. Of course, it wasn't just planets that gave birth to them. There might be other treasures in other treasure lands that gave birth to giant space beasts. Wang Xian suspected that the giant space beasts here were born from this space. This was because the energy fluctuation of this space was too similar to those giant space beasts. Swish. Wang Xian flew over and took a look at the corpse. With a wave of his hand, he took out a branch of the soul-returning wood. And Lai, bring them back. In addition, there are some corpses of the giant space beasts here. Bring them back too. Wang Xian instructed Enlai. Yes, Dragon King. Enlai nodded. Let's go, Qingyue. Let's see what treasures are hidden here. Wang Xian flew forward in a good mood. It could be said that the value of this place was far beyond the treasures occupied by other pinnacle races. Chapter 38:10. In the past, the treasured lands that other pinnacle races could occupy were occupied by 5th Order Sovereign Realm giant space beasts. Moreover, they were occupied by 2 to 3 5th Order Sovereign Realm giant space beasts. However, this place was the birthplace of a 6th Order Sovereign Realm giant space beast, and even a 7th Order Sovereign Realm giant space beast. This was a world of difference. There was a huge gap between them. All universes had an iron law. Only powerful treasured lands could give birth to experts. Powerful treasured lands would be occupied by experts unless there were special circumstances. Take the Fireheart treasured land for example. It was a treasured land. The central area was occupied by the various races in the starry sky universe. The strongest race had an 8th-order sovereign realm existence. Such a powerful existence, coupled with the suppression of the starry sky universe, was not something that a 9-origin universe expert could occupy. Another example was the Storm Continent, which was also occupied by a powerful pinnacle race. Their strength was also not something a 9-origin universe could occupy. Of course, there could be special circumstances. That was, the giant space beasts did not like this treasured land, so they did not occupy it. This possibility was too low, especially for a powerful treasured land. Wang Xian and the others flew forward and landed on that special material. When they stepped on it, it was soft. It was like a huge piece of flesh. Wang Xian extended his hand and dug into it. However, the toughness of it was beyond his expectations. What's going on? I can't even damage it? Wang Xian's face was full of surprise. It is indeed very sturdy. Perhaps even an 8th or 9th order sovereign realm giant space beast would not be able to damage it. Lan Qingyue waved her arm, and a gray spear pierced downwards. However, it did not damage it at all. Wang Xian frowned slightly. There seems to be darkness energy in it, as well as a special life energy. Is this the fusion of darkness and life energy? He placed his palm on it and tried to absorb it. However, he could not absorb this energy. I can't absorb it? Wang Xian was a little surprised. With a swift move, he immediately hovered in the air and scanned the area. At this time, he noticed a huge pit in front of him. This pit used to contain a special ball of flesh. The meatball had been swallowed by the giant star beast. It was also because of this meatball that the giant space beast advanced to the 7th order sovereign realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to improve just by fusing with other star behemoths. When Wang Xian flew to the location of the huge pit, a dense and strange energy surged towards him. This energy was somewhat intoxicating, but it also made him vigilant. He had a premonition that if he were to absorb this energy directly, it would be dangerous for him. It was an energy filled with temptation and vitality. With a wave of his arm, he dug out a piece from the inside. It was like flesh and blood. This energy is so strange. Lan Qingyue sized it up and asked curiously, Xiao Xian, what do you think this energy is used for? Did the giant cosmic beast devour some special divine herb? Divine grass? That's possible. Upon hearing this, Wang Xian raised his eyebrows slightly. He hesitated for a moment, then moved his palm, and a wisp of the progenitor tree reached out. However, after the progenitor tree reached out, it was clear that it had no interest in the piece of flesh in its hand. Seeing this, Wang Xian frowned again. Could it be that occupying this place was of no use to the Dragon Palace? Wang. However, at this moment, something unexpected happened. On the branch of the progenitor tree, a flower appeared. When Wang Xian saw this flower, his eyes lit up instantly. Black flower of the other shore. Yes, black flower of the other shore. This was a treasure that Wang Xian had obtained when he annihilated a tribe. A dead black flower of the other shore. Later on, it was revived because of the progenitor tree. After being revived, the black flower of the other shore continued to grow. Now, there were hundreds of black flower of the other shore in the Dragon Palace. These black flower of the other shore were all used by the succubus tribe. As for the succubus tribe, they were a rare species in the Dragon Palace. Previously, the Dragon Palace had obtained the corpse of a witch ancestor. This corpse gave birth to the succubus tribe. As a peak species, they had replaced the dolphin tribe in the past. However, due to the limited energy of the witch ancestor's corpse, it could only give birth to 1,000 succubus dragons. The strength of the succubus was undeniable. Together with the black flower of the other shore, they were extremely powerful. Now that Wang Xian thought about it, the corpse of the witch ancestor was definitely extraordinary. Wang Xian even suspected that the corpse of the witch ancestor, which could give birth to a peak species of dragon, was definitely comparable to the 12 witch ancestors of the sorcerer tribe. Of course, this was just a guess. As for the flower of the other shore, the angel tribe had the flower of the other shore. They had the radiant flower of the other shore. This was the ultimate treasure of the angel tribe. There were only a few who possessed such a treasure. Wang Xian had never seen it, nor had the third prince used it. Clearly, this kind of treasure could only be used under special circumstances, or given to special experts. However, after Wang Xian obtained the black flower of the other shore, although it was revived, its growth was extremely slow. Currently, the black flower of the other shore in the Dragon Palace was only at the peak of the supremacy realm. This might have something to do with the level of the progenitor tree. After all, the progenitor tree had yet to recover to the heavenly yuan creation stage. It was still unable to evolve the divine wood on the branches, especially when it was a unique treasure like the black flower of the other shore. The black flower of the other shore stretched out from the progenitor tree and immediately took root on this piece of flesh. Soon, the flesh was rapidly absorbed by the black flower of the other shore. The entire black flower of the other shore looked as though it was emitting a beautiful black glow. It was filled with a strange attraction. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. He moved and immediately came to the location of the deep pit. This pit was originally the place where the special flesh plant grew. He placed the black flower of the other shore in it. Wang. In an instant, the entire black flower of the other shore swayed as though it was extremely excited. Waves of energy surged towards it. The blood-red energy also surged towards it. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows. The energy in here has increased the strength of the black flower of the other shore tremendously. Does that mean that it can also enhance the strength of the black flower of the other shore? Wang Xian mumbled to himself. As the black flower of the other shore was born from the corpse of the witch ancestor, the energy in their bodies was also very strange. Although it was said to be of the dark attribute, it was somewhat different. In short, it was a little strange, but it was very compatible with the black flower of the other shore. If the black flower of the other shore could absorb energy here, the black flower of the other shore should be able to do the same. Chapter 38:11. Wang Wang Wang. Greetings, Dragon King. In this filthy land, figures appeared beside Wang Xian one after another. They greeted Wang Xian respectfully. More than 1,000 figures with demonic and ghostly bodies and a pair of dark wings. Their eyes were blood-red and were filled with demonic beauty. Succubus dragon species. These were the 1,000 succubus dragon species in the Dragon Palace. Wang Xian asked Enlai to bring them all over. Among the 1,000 succubus dragon species, only the leader had broken through to the sovereign realm. The rest were all at the pinnacle of the venerable realm. Let's see if you guys can absorb the energy here. Wang Xian looked at them and said after sensing that the energy in the bodies of the succubus dragon species was similar to the energy here. Yes, Dragon King. The group of succubus dragons nodded. They looked to the side with glistening eyes. They moved and immediately flew to the side. The energy of the succubus dragon is similar to this place. Lan Qingyue said from the side. Wang Xian nodded his head. Swish, swish, swish. Soon, the succubus dragons entered the deep pit and sank into it. Dragon King, we can absorb the energy here. Moreover, we can feel that we are improving rapidly. Most importantly, we can improve our comprehension skills greatly by absorbing the energy. Soon, the leader of the succubus dragons landed on the special substance and her eyes glowed. Her? Is that so? Wang Xian's eyes glowed. Yes, this is a very strange feeling. This place is like our nest. We can grow rapidly here. In fact, it seems like we can continue growing without any shackles. The leader of the succubus dragons said. Wang Xian's eyes glowed when he heard that. He waved his arm and placed the black flower of the other shore inside. You guys can improve together with the black flower of the other shore. Let's see if the black flower of the other shore will evolve with you guys. Yes, Dragon King. The black flower of the other shore can absorb the energy here. Currently, they are only at the pinnacle of the venerable realm, and have yet to show their effects and magical abilities. The leader of the succubus dragons answered immediately. Let's go and take a look at this area. There are some special divine herbs growing here. They should be useful to you guys. Wang Xian was delighted. He waved his arm and flew forward with the leader of the succubus dragons. The surface area of this muddy land wasn't small. Wang Xian could sense some majestic energy in this place. This majestic energy didn't come from the place itself, but from the special divine herbs. They flew over and soon noticed a strange divine herb. The divine grass had the same color and energy as the substance beneath the energy. It was just that it contained more energy. Wang Xian and the rest landed at the side and observed carefully. This strange divine herb seems to have the aura of life. Lan Qingyue suddenly exclaimed and said, "Indeed." Wang Xian nodded his head. His eyes sparkled. He placed his palm on it, and immediately sensed it. What? These are not divine herbs, they are not plants. Under his senses, Wang Xian immediately made a judgment. These were not divine herbs at all. They're living beings. They're star behemoths that were born in this dimension. Wang Xian exclaimed. It looked like a divine grass, but it was only 100 meters in size. However, it was not a plant, but a living creature. It was a giant beast of the starry sky. Dragon King, I feel that if I absorb this thing, I'll be able to improve immediately. At this time, the leader of the succubus dragons stared at the unborn giant beast of the starry sky passionately. You can improve directly? Aren't there any shackles? Wang Xian looked at her and asked with flickering eyes. Yes, Dragon King. Based on my guess, there shouldn't be any shackles. The energy here is very similar to the energy in us succubus dragons. It seems that after absorbing it, you can complete your breakthrough naturally, the succubus dragon said. Enlai, bring back the corpses you brought back to the dragon palace. Wang Xian immediately instructed Enlai, who was beside him. Yes, Dragon King. Enlai nodded his head and disappeared instantly. A few seconds later, Enlai appeared with the corpses of the giant beast of the starry sky placed at the side. Can you guys devour these corpses? Wang Xian looked at the leader of the succubus dragons and asked. Yes. The leader of the succubus dragons nodded with enthusiasm in her eyes. Xiaoxian, it seems like the ancestral sorcerer who gave birth to the succubus dragons in the dragon palace must have transplanted the energy from the starry sky universe. That's why the succubus dragons could absorb the energy. Lan Qingyue said to Wang Xian as she guessed. Wang Xian nodded his head. That should be the case. Besides, the giant beast of the starry sky universe that fought with us could achieve a breakthrough by devouring each other. This should be their talent. That was the special talent of the giant beast of the starry sky universe. They could quickly assimilate the energy of the same kind to achieve a breakthrough. The succubus dragons seem to have such a talent too. Go and assimilate them. See if you can achieve a breakthrough quickly. Wang Xian ordered the leader of the succubus dragons. If the succubus dragons could achieve a breakthrough quickly here, the dragon palace would have an additional 1,000 strong combat forces. The current combat strength of the dragon palace depended entirely on him, Lan Qingyue, and the rest. The strongest among the rest would be the second-order sovereigns, Bei Shuang and the rest. Such strength was too weak among the pinnacle races. Yes, Dragon King. The leader of the succubus dragons nodded her head. She flapped her wings and came to the front of the humongous corpse. She spread her wings and landed on the corpse slowly, following which, waves of energy surged into her body. The leader of the succubus dragons absorbed the huge corpse at a terrifying speed. At the same time, the energy in her body was also increasing rapidly. It's really possible to improve so quickly. This is amazing. Lan Qingyue was shocked as she watched. It should be related to the legacy and this special treasure land. Wang Xian's eyes flickered. After all, the succubus dragons were born from the corpse of the witch ancestor. Their bloodline might still contain the legacy of the witch ancestor. Just like the legacy of Queen Scarlet, the advancement of the spirit red bones was not restricted. As long as there was enough energy, one could achieve a breakthrough quickly. The succubus dragons should also have such a legacy in their bodies. However, such a legacy and rapid advancement seemed to require some kind of special energy. And this place had such a special energy. If Wang Xian wasn't wrong, the giant beast of the starry sky universe that was born after devouring the giant beast of the starry sky universe was born would have strength close to or even seventh-order sovereigns. This also meant that this treasure land could directly give birth to a sovereign realm existence. It had such a strong special characteristic that it could ignore the shackles of the sovereign realm, which required one to break through step by step. Chapter 38:12. If this place can help the black dragons improve rapidly, the middle-level strength of our dragon palace can be replenished. Lan Qingyue looked at the leader of the black dragons, whose aura was rising rapidly, and revealed a smile. Yes. Wang Xian nodded his head. The improvement of the black dragons was crucial to the dragon palace. I'm planning to stay here for the time being. Qingwei, you stay here too. When the Tai Chi Dragon Board recovers and the rest of the black dragons have improved tremendously, we will consider continuing the exploration. Wang Xian said to Lan Qingyue. The Tai Chi Dragon Board was broken, and it would take a long time to recover. He had to recover. In addition, they couldn't just leave the black dragons here and leave. Once they left, the black dragons wouldn't be able to defend against the galactic beasts. Therefore, Wang Xian had to stay here. All right. Lan Qingyue nodded her head with a smile. All the black dragons absorb and integrate all the galactic beasts being nurtured here. After that, you will improve at the spots where the galactic beasts are being nurtured. In addition, those with black flower of the other shore, place it beside you and let it absorb the energy. Wang Xian ordered immediately. Yes, Dragon King. The 1,000 succubus dragons answered immediately. They immediately absorbed and integrated the galactic beasts that were being nurtured in this area. Boom. Before long, a mighty aura came from the leader of the black dragons. Wang Xian looked over and revealed a smile. The speed of their breakthroughs is really terrifying. He couldn't help but exclaim. They were in luck this time. They came across this area. Xiao Xian, the energy in this area is very similar to the energy in Ling Honggu's body. At this time, Lan Qingyue suddenly spoke. Her? Now that you mention it, it's indeed similar. Wang Xian raised his eyebrows. Ling Honggu had the inheritance of Queen Scarlet, and her body contained fire and darkness attributes. The integration of these two attributes was indeed similar to the energy in Ling Honggu's body. I'll contact her and ask her if she wants to come over. Wang Xian looked at Lan Qingyue and said, just contact them. Miss Ling Honggu is not bad. She has also helped our dragon palace before. Moreover, she has great potential. Xu Qing and the rest will not object to her joining our dragon palace. Moreover, our Dragon King has been much more well-behaved these past few million years. Lan Qingyue teased him. Compared to the past, it was much better to bring a Dragon Queen along from time to time. Wang Xian smiled sheepishly. He took out the communication stone plate and sent a message to Ling Honggu. If Honggu comes over, I'll go get her. This place is rather dangerous. Lan Qingyue added from the side. All right. Wang Xian nodded his head. At the same time, somewhere in the Starry Sky universe, a group of Skeleton Clan experts gathered together. With the appearance of the Universe of Faith, the Skeleton Clan also established a small hunting team. The members of this hunting team were all second-order sovereigns and above, and the 3 skeletons leading them were 7th-order sovereigns. In total, there were 200 sovereign realm experts in the team. The skeleton race had a relatively large number of ruler rank experts among the peak races. These sovereign realm experts, in addition to their skeleton army, were a terrifying force to be reckoned with. Ling Honggu was also selected to be a member of the hunting team. Initially, she did not want to join. However, since her grandfather's king had been selected, she had no choice but to follow. Wang Xian's sudden message surprised Ling Honggu. When she saw it, her eyes flickered. Grandfather, Wang Xian said they found a powerful treasure land. That place will be of great help to my advancement. He's asking if I can go there. Ling Honggu said to the Black Vulture King. The Dragon King contacted you? He found a treasure land? The Black Vulture King was taken aback. Subsequently, his eyes beamed with excitement. Of course. A place that the Dragon King calls a treasure land is definitely not simple. The Black Vulture King said immediately, I'll inform the Shang King about the hunting team. He won't reject. All right, grandfather. Ling Honggu nodded her head and replied to Wang Xian. Dragon Queen Lan Qingyue from the Dragon Palace will come to get me later. Soon Ling Honggu saw the message and said, Dragon Queen Lan Qingyue, the ancient god Kuan breeder? The Black Vulture King was taken aback as his eyes lit up. The ancient god Kuan breeder, Dragon Queen Lan Qingyue, was a well-known name in the Nine Origins universe. With 3 Kuan, she could easily kill a group of 7th-order Sovereign Realm angels and phoenixes. In addition, she had the ancient legacy of the ancient god Kuan breeder. In the future, she would definitely be one of the most terrifying existences below the creation realm. The Black Vulture King was even more excited that such a person would come to fetch his granddaughter. Yes, I've spent some time with Lan Qingyue and the rest of the Dragon Queens. Ling Honggu nodded her head and revealed a smile. Currently, the Dragon Palace is the strongest in the Starry Sky universe. The Blessed Grotto heaven they occupy is definitely stronger than the other peak races. If you cultivate there, you should improve quickly, the Black Vulture King said excitedly. In a flash, Huang Xiaolong appeared in front of a 7th-order Sovereign Realm expert from the Skeleton tribe and explained the situation to him. The Skeleton King, called the Shang King, looked at Ling Honggu in surprise. Naturally, he wouldn't stop him. Ling Honggu and the Black Vulture King were on good terms with the Dragon King of the Dragon Palace. However, this relationship was better than they had imagined. The Shang King congratulated the Black Vulture King and agreed immediately. Xiao Xian, Miss Honggu is here. A year later, Lan Qingyue rushed over with Ling Honggu and greeted him with a smile. She's here, Honggu. Take a look at the energy here and see if you can absorb it. Wang Xian looked at Ling Honggu and said with a smile, the energy here is indeed similar to the energy in my body. Ling Honggu nodded his head with a beaming face. Subsequently, they came to a deep pit and sensed it. Indeed, I can feel a terrifying energy gushing into my body from below and converting into my own energy. My speed of improvement will be greatly enhanced here. Ling Honggu said excitedly. In that case, you can cultivate here. The energy here is sufficient. Wang Xian smiled. Only the Dragon Palace could absorb the energy here. Even so, it would be difficult to exhaust the energy here. Over the next period of time, Wang Xian and the rest stayed here. What surprised Wang Xian was that in just a few years, all 1,000 dragon species had broken through to the Sovereign Realm. This kind of improvement was terrifying. Of course, this was also related to the fact that all the dragon species had reached the pinnacle of the Venerable Realm. Chapter 38:13. Time passed quickly as Wang Xian continued to repair the Tai Chi Dragon Board. As the Tai Chi Dragon Board's realm was higher than Wang Xian's, it would take a long time to repair it. 10,000 years passed quickly, but the repair was still not complete. However, in these 10,000 years, the improvement of the dragon species was terrifying. 1,000 dragon species had all broken through to the second-order universe Sovereign Realm. The strength of the dragon leader had even reached the third-order universe Sovereign Realm. Every time a Sovereign Realm expert advanced to the next level, it would take a long time. If word got out that the dragon species could improve so quickly, it would definitely cause a huge commotion. As for the Spirit Red Bone, it was even faster. Now it had reached the fourth-order Sovereign Realm. It will take at least a few 100,000 years for the Tai Chi Dragon Board to break through completely. Wang Xian shook his head as he looked at the recovery of the Tai Chi Dragon Board. The Tai Chi Dragon Board relied on the energy of the Heart of Light and Darkness, which was located within Wang Xian's body. He needed to accumulate and mobilize the energy. This caused Wang Xian's strength to be too weak. It would take too long for the Tai Chi Dragon Board to fully recover. If Wang Xian could advance by 2 more ranks, the recovery speed of the Tai Chi Dragon Board would be hundreds of times slower. However, he had no other choice. Since he had nothing to do now, he could only wait. Up until now, 10,000 years had passed, and nothing had happened in the starry universe. Although the news of the universe of faith had spread, there was no news of a battle. Whether it was the universe of faith or the nine-source universe, both sides would be cautious in the first clash. It was impossible for them to attack recklessly. 200,000 years passed in the blink of an eye. Wang. On this day, Wang Xian received a message from the communication stone plate. When he opened it and saw the content, he raised his eyebrows slightly. The battle had begun. The first wave of battle erupted from the sorcerer race. This news was also spread by the sorcerer race. They encountered the disciples of the universe of faith, and a battle broke out. The sorcerer race killed tens of thousands of disciples of the universe of faith, including a seventh-order pantheon. Moreover, the sorcerer race sent another message. According to the sorcerer race's confirmation, killing a pantheon of the same level and absorbing their heart of faith will increase your chances of breaking through by 50%. When this news came out, it caused a huge commotion. Have the experts of the sorcerer tribe started fighting against the faith universe? Looks like the sorcerer tribe won the battle against them. They actually killed a 7th-grade deity. They're too strong. The witch race is very powerful. They have already gone through several eons. Each and every one of them is extremely powerful. Absorbing the faith hearts of gods of the same level can actually increase our chances of breaking through? Isn't this too crazy? I'm going to hunt the gods. Damn, the benefits are so great. Doesn't that mean that if I can obtain a peak Venerable's heart of faith, my chances of breaking through to the sovereign realm will increase by 50%? That's a terrifying probability. This is the universe war? No wonder every time the cataclysm comes, there would be a terrifying war. So it turns out that we can gain so many benefits by killing the gods of the universe. On the universe AI, there was an uproar because of a piece of news from the witch race. Wang Xian's eyes sparkled as he read the information. The sorcerer tribe shouldn't be lying. If we can kill a large number of experts of the deity realm, the disciples of Dragon Palace can make breakthroughs quickly, Wang Xian murmured. Now the disciples of Dragon Palace were not short of resources to break through. What they lacked was time. What they lacked was comprehension. The heart of faith could greatly reduce the time needed to comprehend and break through the shackles. For the Dragon Palace, the heart of faith was very important. The Tai Chi Dragon Plate needs another 50 to 60,000 years to fully recover. There's no hurry, Wang Xian murmured as he read the news. At the same time, he sent a message to the Dragon Palace hunting team to look for opportunities to hunt down the gods of the universe of faith. With Little Blue around, hunting shouldn't be a problem. It could even be said to be very simple. Time continued to pass. In the following time, the battles between the Nine-Source universe and the universe of faith increased. The hunting teams of the pinnacle races began to clash with the teams of the universe of faith. More and more experts and disciples joined in. Ambushes, sneak attacks, encirclement, killing. For a time, the edge of the starry universe became the battlefield between the starry universe and the universe of faith. The strength of the universe of faith was not weak, and the strength of the pinnacle races was also very strong. The battles were not one-sided. In the short span of tens of thousands of years, there were even seventh-order sovereigns of the Nine-Source universe who died. Every day, all kinds of news spread through the communication stone plate. After the battles broke out, the hunting teams of the Dragon Palace also joined in. Unlike the other pinnacle races, the hunting teams of the Dragon Palace were only there to pass on information. Most of the time, it was Little Blue. The other experts of the Dragon Palace did not participate at all. With Little Blue's help, they killed tens of thousands of disciples of the universe of faith several times in a row. Many of them were comparable to supremacies. There were only a few hundred sovereigns. The strongest were the sixth-order sovereigns. But even so, this was a very good harvest for the Dragon Palace. Because after killing these few hundred sovereigns, they obtained the heart of faith, which increased the number of experts of the Dragon Palace by a lot. Now the Dragon Palace had two places, the Dragon Baptism Pool and the Fire Heart Treasure Land, which could help the experts of the Dragon Palace improve rapidly. The Dragon Baptism Pool and the Fire Heart Treasure Land could help the Dragon Palace produce a large number of sovereigns. In this short period of time, the number of sovereigns of the Dragon Palace, including the black dragon species, had reached close to 3,000. Among them, the Heart of Faith was indeed very useful. There were close to 3,000 sovereign realm experts, and among them, the Phantom Dragon was the strongest. In these hundreds of thousands of years, the lowest realm of the black dragon species had reached the third-order sovereign realm, and there were more than a dozen that had reached the fourth-order sovereign realm. Other than that, what surprised Wang Xian was that when the black flower of the other shore advanced to the sovereign realm, it possessed a very terrifying ability. Permitha reincarnation. In Wang Xian's eyes, the Permitha reincarnation was a very sick and terrifying ability. It could make one's body go back to the past. In other words, a first-order sovereign realm flower of the other shore could go back to the past 1 second. A second-order sovereign realm flower of the other shore could go back to the past 2 seconds. And so on. And the ability to go back to the past was like rewinding. If one suffered an attack that could destroy one's life in 1 second, using the Permitha flower of the other shore, one's body could go back to the time before the attack. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.